What's up, YouTube? It's your Huckleberry here, back with a series of videos for you guys. I got about 5 really good videos involving Tupac. I went down this Tupac rabbit hole about a week ago, recorded these videos, went through and edited them. I didn't anticipate even doing this. I just found like one video. I was like, oh, let me look into this. And it turns out there's a lot of new stuff coming out about Pac, and it just blew my mind. So I put this series of videos together that I hope you guys really enjoy. This next video you're about to see is about Tupac's secret storage locker. We had all kinds of stuff in the secret storage locker, just hidden correspondence, documents, all kinds of stuff. He anticipated what was going on. He had a fake passport. Dude was ready to roll 3 weeks after he got murdered. If he'd have just lasted that long. So without further ado, enjoy the video. Give me some likes down below, guys. I really would appreciate it. Let's do it. All right, let's get it.
So now we are seeing new body camera video from Metro Police as officers and detectives seizing items from a home last month as part of the investigation into the death of Tupac Shakur.
Meanwhile, we're also getting more details on the Tupac Shakur murder investigation. ABC News is learning more about the target of this week's police search and what they took from his home.
Not involved in the shooting death of rap icon Tupac Shakur. It's a huge murder case that happened right here in Las Vegas, and tonight it's taking yet another turn.
Cops just discovered Tupac's hidden storage locker, and what was inside left them absolutely stunned. In early 2024, Las Vegas investigators found a storage locker rental agreement buried in old case files, a facility in North Las Vegas that Tupac had been paying for under a fake name since 1995. The locker
Whoa.
sat untouched for nearly 30 years. Monthly payments automatically deducted from an account nobody had tracked down. When detectives cut through the lock and rolled up that metal door, what they found inside would completely rewrite what the world thought it knew about Tupac's final year.
A fake name paying out of an account nobody knew about for 30 years. Bruh, that's crazy.
It's quite significant. What we find is that when a search warrant is executed, it's because law enforcement has significant information that they believe can lead to either an indictment or an arrest in a cold case.
A cold case detective reviewing Death Row Records' financial records noticed a recurring $127 charge to Desert Vault Storage under the name Marcus Bishop, a character Tupac played in the 1992 film Juice. He'd used fictional character names before to avoid attention, and this one had worked perfectly for 3 decades. And what investigators found locked inside that 10 by 15 foot space would reveal a side of Tupac nobody knew existed.
The death of rap legend Tupac Shakur nearly 30 years ago became one of the nation's most notorious unsolved murders.
The locker was climate controlled, preserving everything perfectly. Detectives saw a black military trunk with a rusted combination lock. Inside were 47 cassette tapes labeled in Tupac's handwriting, dated January to August 1996, weeks before he got shot. These weren't studio recordings, they were personal audio diaries, Tupac speaking into a recorder about his fears, plans, and suspicions about people around him.
Shocking new details in the latest investigation of the 1996 unsolved murder of legendary rapper Tupac Shakur.
The first tape from January 15, 1996 had Tupac talking about wanting to leave Death Row but feeling trapped by his contract and Suge Knight's control. He mentioned being followed, the same cars outside his house, feeling monitored. A March 1996 entry described a meeting with Suge where he'd asked to renegotiate his deal, and Suge responded by reminding him what happened to people who tried to leave, a veiled threat Tupac clearly understood. But those audio diaries were just the beginning, because what else was packed into that locker proved Tupac had been planning something massive before he died. Next to the trunk were 3 boxes filled with legal documents and business proposals for a record label Tupac wanted to launch independently. Corporate filings showed he'd registered Machiavelli Records in July 1996, trademarked the logo, and started negotiations with distributors who could move albums without Death Row. Artist development budgets proved he was scouting young talent from Compton and Oakland.
According to the warrant, police seized multiple items, including computers, storage devices, notes, photos, and other documentation.
The most stunning discovery was a 40-page business plan, professionally bound with financial projections and marketing strategies. Tupac's mission statement read like a manifesto about building a label focused on socially conscious hip-hop addressing police brutality, systemic poverty, and educational inequality. He'd calculated startup costs, projected revenue, and identified specific producers like DJ Quick and Battle Cat he wanted to hire. And then detectives opened the second box, and what they found inside made them realize Tupac knew he was in danger months before Las Vegas. The second box contained photocopies of threatening letters Tupac received throughout 1996. Some mailed, some slipped under studio doors, some handed directly by strangers. The letters ranged from vague warnings to explicit death threats describing exactly how they'd kill him. One from June 1996 mentioned a white Cadillac, the same car type that pulled up next to his BMW in Las Vegas 3 months later. Tupac kept every single one, documenting when and where he received each threat.
The evidence is now being presented to a Las Vegas grand jury.
So this is the biggest development in the Tupac murder case since this all happened, since the murder happened.
Attached were handwritten pages listing names of people he suspected might want him dead. A disturbingly long list including gang members, rival rappers, former associates, even people within death row. Next to some names, he'd written specific incidents, money disputes, disrespect, conflicts over women. One name circled multiple times was Orlando Anderson, the Compton Crip beaten up at MGM Grand hours before the shooting.
Dang, Pac, he had documented all this stuff. Damn, dude, this is crazy.
Third box held financial records showing Tupac quietly moving money out of death row controlled accounts into offshore banks. Wire transfers to the Cayman Islands, Jamaica, and Ghana, each carefully timed to avoid detection. By August 1996, he'd moved over $3 million into accounts only he could access.
Dude, Pac was
meant to fund his
smart.
exit and new independent venture. But what investigators found in the corner of the locker would prove Tupac was planning to disappear, possibly for good. In the corner sat a black duffel bag containing 2 passports, one legitimate with Tupac's real name, the other forged with the name Jamal Richards, and a photo of Tupac with different hair and glasses. Inside were $150,000 in vacuum-sealed cash, international phone cards, contacts in Cuba and South Africa, and a note saying October 1st, Ghana or bust.
This dude had a fake passport ready to go. Look at this list of names here. 30 through 62. So we don't even get to see the top 29 names. You got Wesley Snipes, Rosie Perez, Lorenzo Tate, Magic Johnson, Tisha Campbell, Prince, Janet Jackson, King, Pernell Whitaker, Evander Holyfield, MC Hammer, Eazy-E. What is this list of names? These are all his contacts, man. These are all the people he trusted. I don't get, no, this can't be what this is, though, because Eazy was dead already. Damn, I don't know what this list is, man. What? This might have been a list of people that he both trusted or were evidence, but wow, man, this is crazy.
Africa, and a note saying October 1st, Ghana or bust.
They never served a search warrant and, showed up at someone's house with the SWAT team back in 1996. So this is definitely, it can't be overstated how big of a deal this is.
Tupac had been preparing to leave the country, possibly permanently. October 1st, 1996 was his exit date. He'd secured a fake identity, moved money offshore, and contacted people who could help him disappear. The duffel was packed and ready. A leather journal in the bag read like a countdown to something Tupac knew was coming. He wrote about feeling exhausted, trapped between his image and who he wanted to become, unable to escape the violence following him. An entry from August 25th, 1996, less than 2 weeks before the shooting, mentioned trying to cancel the Las Vegas trip multiple times, but Suge kept insisting he had to be there. And the final entry in that journal, dated September 6th, the day before the shooting, contained a sentence that still haunts everyone who's read it. If I don't make it to October, somebody needs to know what really happened. The truth is in the locker. Tell my mother where to find it. Those words suggest Tupac knew the danger was imminent, knew that Las Vegas might be the end, and had deliberately left the storage locker as a backup plan, a time capsule of evidence that would explain everything if he didn't survive.
Shakur's murder had all the markings of a gang-style hit.
Tupac was
Bro, my fucking mind is blowing up right now. I can't believe this, dude. This is crazy, crazy turn of events. It's like 29 years too late, but holy crap. This is insane.
Shot multiple times while sitting at a red light near the Las Vegas Strip. The rapper dying several days later.
The locker also held books, dozens of them. Political theory by Malcolm X and Huey Newton, poetry by Langston Hughes and Maya Angelou. Notes filled the margins, pages dog-eared where passages resonated. The autobiography of Malcolm X was falling apart from repeated readings, entire chapters highlighted with notes comparing Malcolm's journey to his own. There were scripts for films Tupac wanted to direct. Concrete Rose told a story about escaping gang life through education, with casting notes and budget breakdowns. Thug Psalms was semi-autobiographical about a rapper caught between the streets and the industry. Parallels to Tupac's life impossible to miss. But the discovery that shocked investigators most was evidence that Tupac had been working with the FBI, or at least someone claiming to be FBI. Buried at the bottom of the third box was a folder marked Federal, and inside were photocopies of documents that appeared to be official FBI correspondence. Letters addressed to Tupac from an agent named Michael Carrington offering protection in exchange for information about criminal activity within death row records. The letter suggested the FBI had been investigating Suge Knight for years, looking into money laundering, racketeering, and connections to violent crimes, and they wanted Tupac to cooperate as a witness.
Experts say this latest investigation could shed new light on one of the biggest cold cases in modern pop culture history.
I don't think you raid someone's house in something this high profile, knowing full well, the media attention that it's going to get, unless you feel pretty strongly.
According to the letters, Tupac had met with Agent Carrington at least twice in early 1996, both times in secret locations away from anyone connected to death row. The agent promised witness protection, a new identity, and financial support if Tupac agreed to testify, but Tupac's handwritten responses on the letters showed he was conflicted, torn between wanting to escape Suge's control and not wanting to be labeled a snitch. One note scrawled across a letter dated April 1996 said, "Can't trust cops but can't survive Suge either. What's the right move?" Whether those FBI documents were legitimate remains unclear, and the Bureau has refused to confirm Agent Carrington existed or that any 1996 death row investigation was active. But Tupac keeping those letters suggests he was considering cooperation, making him an even bigger target for people protecting death row's secrets. So what does this storage locker actually prove? And why did nobody know about it for 30 years? Nobody knew it existed. The rental was under a fake name, payments automated from a dormant account, and Tupac never told anyone, not his mother, not his closest friends. He deliberately created a hidden vault to store evidence, document threats, and prepare his exit without anyone knowing. It was insurance that if something happened, the truth would eventually surface.
Well, how did they find this? I mean, did it run? Did the funding from the account run out? Like, how did they find this stuff if he was so well hidden?
Authorities took multiple laptops and iPads and, Diane, what they described as a tub of photographs.
The contents paint a picture of someone not living recklessly, but actively trying to escape, building an exit plan, documenting evidence, preparing to disappear. The business plans prove he was thinking long-term beyond death row. The threatening letters show he knew people wanted him dead. The offshore accounts and fake passport prove he was ready to leave everything. And that final journal entry proves he understood the danger was escalating fast. Tupac was weeks away from executing his plan. October 1st was his exit date, the day he'd fly to Ghana and start over. But he got shot September 7th and died September 13th, less than 3 weeks before escape.
Damn.
If he'd canceled that Las Vegas trip like he wanted, if he'd resisted Suge's pressure and stayed home, he might have made it. He might have launched Machiavelli Records, directed his films, lived the life he'd been secretly planning.
Well, it's still an unsolved crime, and law enforcement is charged with the duty of making.
God damn, dude. Think about what. Man, we missed so much, dude. We missed out on so much stuff, man. Tupac would be killing it to this day. We missed out on movies. Oh my God. That man had a grand plan. He knew that the end was near. And he just, bro, that's unbelievable. He just couldn't pass up going to that Mike Tyson fight, though. It was probably too much pressure from Suge. I mean, it would have been more suspicious if he wouldn't have went. But he was already. Oh my God! This is unfathomable. This is hard to comprehend.
Sure that they get and arrest everyone that's connected with a crime. So if there is an accomplice that helped commit this murder, they still are looking for that person.
That person, Keefe D's. I don't understand how they ain't listening to what Keefe D's is saying. Keefe D's already said that he was in the backseat of the car. The other 3 people that were in the car are all dead by now. He's the only one still alive.
Storage locker discovery has already impacted the ongoing murder investigation. Prosecutors building the case against Keefe D now have Tupac's own documentation of threats, his list of suspected enemies, and evidence he knew something was coming. Defense attorneys argue the letters and journals prove multiple people wanted him dead, making it harder to prove Keefe D was specifically responsible. Either way, the locker's contents have become crucial evidence in a case that has been cold for 3 decades. For fans, the discovery is bittersweet. It confirms Tupac was more than his thug persona. He was thoughtful, strategic, deeply aware of the trap he'd fallen into. But it also confirms he saw the end coming and couldn't stop it, that despite all his planning, violence caught up before he could escape. The storage locker isn't just evidence, it's a monument to a future that never happened, a life Tupac was building in secret that got erased on a Las Vegas street. And now, looking at everything he left behind, you can't help but wonder what hip-hop would look like if he'd made it to October, if he'd executed that plan, if he'd disappeared to Ghana and lived the life he was preparing for. The world lost more than just a rapper that night. It lost all the possibilities packed into that hidden locker, locked away for 30 years until someone finally found the key.
Guys, this is nuts. This is nuts. It's about damn time, man. Rest in peace, Pac. This is crazy shit. Anyway, guys, I'm your Huckleberry. You could call me Huck. I hope you like this video. Down below, it's right down there. Come on, just give me the like. Give me the like. Oh man, you're a daisy if you do. We'll see you next time. Peace.